Do we have Nancy Donahue?
I'm present.
All right, Ms. Donahue, let's see. I see you're on Zoom there. Okay. Still looking for service on the two respondents. Ms. Donahue, do you have any updates there?
Well, I have to take a moment of your time, Your Honor. The first time the court sent me paperwork, it was the wrong spelling of my name. It was you wrote it Donahoe, and my name is Donahue. And then we had to come back for the second. And the two times that I've seen you, I haven't received any paperwork in the mail. Having said that, I sent it because I'm in a safe house. I sent it to the agency for two reasons, because I'm in a safe house and for documentation purposes. So now I haven't received the papers to serve these two people that need to be served, because on the record, I had someone in the Safeway parking lot say that I best not serve them.
Mhm.
And no, I don't
So
have
let's
any
see.
pictures.
Right.
Yeah,
So Ms.
I'm getting nervous.
Yeah, so Ms. Donahue, so on April 6th, it looks like after the last hearing,
I called up right away.
Yep, and so we sent you the service packet at the address you provided. You're saying you haven't received it yet?
No, that director and / general manager, and I've gotten other important mail from other agencies and whatnot. At the same time, I ordered yours. And no, there's been no. And I have documentation that I spoke to someone and gave him the new address and everything like that. So I did not receive it because I was ready to go. Because Your Honor, and for the record of the court, I am nervous with Jeremiah Robertson and Amy Barr.
6th Avenue.
And I am in a safe house.
All right, Ms. Donahue, is it the address? Is it on 6th Avenue? Is that the address that we're sending
Well,
you mail
I really
at?
would. Yes, and
I'm
I'd
not gonna
really like you not to publicize it.
Right, we're not gonna say the full address, but I want to make sure we've got the correct one. The 6th Avenue is part of it.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my God.
All right. So that is where we mailed you your service packet. And so there's also a note here that it may not get to you in time for service to be completed by the next hearing. So it sounds like we did send that service packet to you. Have I heard you correctly? I think last hearing as well, you mentioned you're working with an advocate at the shelter you're residing at. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. All right. So yeah, and if you would like your advocate to contact the court as well, to just make sure that we're both on the same page. Again, I won't provide too many details on the record.
No reason for
But
that.
if you'd like your,
There's no reason for that, sir. There's no reason for that.
Just to
sir,
make
Your
the
Honor.
main thing,
I'm
Ms.
very-
Donahue, is I want to make sure that we're sending the service packet to the correct place. That's my main goal. And so if there's
Okay,
any
so what I'll
issues
do is,
there, yeah.
when I
Okay.
hang up with you, I'll go ahead and call and talk to the gentleman I talked to last time to verify. But like I said, I'm getting very important mail besides yours on time to my place.
Okay.
So I really
All right.
don't need, yeah, I got it handled.
Right. Okay. Well, we'll reset this again we'll go out, another week and reset this, and we'll hopefully that will be enough time for the mail to get to you and for you to serve the respondents here. So we'll be back again next week, and then if there's
Having read my situation and me telling you that someone came up to my car to warn me not to serve them, that doesn't warrant any temporary protection order? And being that I'm at a safe house? I mean, I'm just asking for the record, Your Honor.
No, I mean, you're welcome to ask for something more. We would need a little bit more information. If there's just, you're saying somebody is coming up to you on in the parking lot. We do need a bit more to go off of there, ma'am. But what we're going to do
Oh,
is we're going to
really?
set the hearing for next week. And again,
Uh-huh.
if you haven't received the service packet, maybe by today, see if your advocate wants to reach out to the court here, just to make sure we have all the right information. Okay.
And then one other question I do have, Your Honor. Sorry to take so much time. Don't mean to be disrespectful. Is there any way I can get a copy of this actual court time right now?
You mean like a transcript or a video or anything like that?
Sure. Transcript would be great.
Well, these hearings are broadcast on YouTube, so you're able to get it that way. If you'd like a transcript, you can contact the civil department and see about getting a transcript. I do think you'd need to pay for those though, but you can always call and ask how you go about doing that process. But it's also, these are on YouTube, and I believe it will be up for the next 24 hours if you'd like to look at it that way.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Ms.
So
Donahue.
what date? No.
Next Monday, so a week from today.
At what time?
Except, actually, one moment, Ms. Donahue. The only issue though is then we would have to get this updated order to her, and then in the mail, and then she would have to turn around. That's going to be probably not enough time.
I mean, if we can get it to her sooner than mail, that's the only.
Yeah, but if I remember last time, she's not accepting anything other than through mail.
Then
Yeah, we're actually going to go out, just considering I want to make sure we have enough time, and so we're not having you come back to court unnecessarily, ma'am. So we're actually going to go out 2 weeks. That way, because you're going to have to also serve the updated order setting a hearing. And so it's not just a matter of coming back to court. It's going to be, we need to give you enough time to get a copy of the updated order and then try and serve that updated order on the respondent. So we're actually going to set it for May 4th, just to give you enough time. Yeah, just so we don't, keep bringing you back to court unnecessarily.
Okay, and then could you repeat the phone number in which I will correct, or I don't think I'll correct, because what confuses me is that they left you a note stating that it might not be on time. So they did have my correct address that I gave them. But having said that, I don't want to ramble and take up the court's time. What is the phone number where I can call that gentleman again?
All right. Are you ready?
I sure am.
All right. It's 360-754-4102.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, ma'am. We'll see you back here on May 4th.
Okay.
All right. The relationship between the parties here is former dating, never lived together. The petitioner here is alleging that the respondent had sent a picture of him holding a gun, made the petitioner feel unsafe, has threatened harm, said things like, "You don't want to see me get mad." There's been persistent communication after notice to stop and having been blocked. The respondent has submitted some exhibits, a couple dozen screenshots of text messages between the parties I think I saw essentially between November and March, November 2025 and March of this year, reflecting tones that oscillate between friendly to hostile, and things of that nature. And I haven't seen anything responsive to that necessarily from Ms. Kennedy, but those are the exhibits I've been able to view. So with that, I'll begin with Ms. Kennedy. No, I'm sorry, Ms. Brennan. Kennedy Brennan, sorry about that. Ms. Brennan, if you could please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth and the whole truth?
Yes.
And before you start with your testimony, I think actually I also want to be clear. I understand that there is some contention over the status of a car. One thing that we're not resolving through the anti-harassment order is who gets the car, whether it's returned, the ownership status, anything like that.
I understand that.
Yeah, so that's just as you're thinking about what you're gonna say here. communication over the car, that might be relevant and provide some context, but what's before me today is I can't tell anyone who gets the car, rightful ownership or anything like that. So just so folks are aware. Okay, go ahead, man.
Actually, I did email like some photos and like text messages. I probably did it too late though, but I do have those, and I feel like those are important.
All right, let's see.
Yeah, no, I did it like very last minute,
Okay.
which was my bad, but
Oh, okay. Is this like, okay, so it was later last week. The last thing I've got, well, let's see, the last thing I have that I've been able to see are exhibits from Thursday. So do you remember if this was Thursday or Friday of last week?
no, I don't. I have it on my phone, but I'm assuming you probably can't look at that.
Well, I can look at, so what I can look at is what everyone's been able to see, so that all parties have kind of fair notice of what's being presented.
Okay.
And so that's why what I look at is what's in the court file, because that's something that's everyone has access to.
Okay.
Are we able to check and see if there's stuff getting put in the calendar?
But we can't move it to the case file if we wanted to.
Oh, I
or
see.
They need to be separate.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I see. Okay. All right. And are these texts that go to reflect what you've alleged in your petition?
And pictures, yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, so that's going to be important, not just for Mr. Klingel to see, but also for the court to see in making a decision. Okay. And you just sent those, you just emailed those to I see we've got the email here.
At first I emailed them to the wrong email.
Okay.
And then I corrected it, so.
Okay. All right. And then has Mr. Klingel seen any of these, or is it you just sent it to the court?
I just sent it to the court. Do I have to send it to him?
No, once it's uploaded to the court file, then everyone can see it. I just, sometimes parties will send each other messages, and it's helpful to know who has what. All right. So I think then what makes sense is to reset this to give the court a chance to see everything, and also Mr. Klingel a chance to see everything that you'll be talking about.
Okay, how do I see everything? That's what I'm confused about.
So on the service packet, there are instructions on how to view what's in the court file.
Okay.
So that's, I know you get a lot of paperwork as part of this process. It's, but there is, one of the documents is essentially, is it the Zoom instructions? Okay. Yeah, so on that, I guess is the Zoom instruction piece of paper you get. But it does say how do you go into the court file and you view everything. And so that's where you'll be able to view all the, like, as I said, Mr. Klingel's uploaded a couple dozen texts as well. So
okay, yeah, I feel like I need to be uploading mine because it's important.
Yeah, and that's to give everyone notice.
Okay.
Okay, so Mr. Klingel, you're on Zoom there, just to keep you updated here. So Miss Brennan has some additional exhibits that she would like to upload that sounds like support what she's alleged in her petition. Before making any decision on the order, then obviously you need to have notice and an opportunity to view those in order to respond. So does the court. The judge wants to be able to look at that too before issuing a decision. So what we're going to do is reset this to next Monday to give everyone a chance to view everything. Do you have any questions, Mr. Klingel?
Yeah, I object to a continuance, as I've none of the evidence I submitted is new. It's from her phone. Also, December 6th, I filed the police report to where I stated I did not feel safe from false allegations. I have a voicemail from the mom like threatening me. And so after them seeing the evidence, it's suspicious now that they send in stuff after to like now they have the motive to lie. So I object to the continuance because I mean now that she's seen the evidence, she wants to submit stuff.
Okay, so right, so we're gonna have a continuance. I hear you. I understand you're frustrated, but it is important before making any decisions that everyone has a chance to submit everything they want a judge to see. And so we're not going to set it out a long time. We're just going to set it out another week. And that way, again, everyone has a chance to see everything that's going to come before the court during the hearing. You are also, Mr. Klingel, you are welcome to, if you feel unsafe, obviously, you don't only have to be a respondent. If you'd like to, take action to make you feel safer, you're able to do that. But for purposes of this hearing, if the petitioner is saying that there's evidence that she wants to submit that backs up what's in her petition, that's going to be important before making a decision.
Yeah, and I'm not saying this out of frustration. I'm saying that I did file a police report on December 6th, which I believe I submitted as evidence, to where they now it's giving them more time to make false accusations, and now they have more motive to lie. So yeah, I'm not frustrated. It's just
these are all arguments you're going to be able to make when we have the hearing. If you want to contest, the veracity of what Ms. Brennan is saying, you're going to have that full opportunity to say that and comment on the credibility and weight of the evidence and things of that nature. So you'll have that chance, and that's going to be next Monday, same time, same way you logged in today. It's going to be how you do it next week as well. And so we will be back then. So it sounds like there's more evidence coming. So folks, just make sure you check the court file. If you have any questions, Ms. Brennan, about how to, how to view files or get stuff uploaded, again, that's going to be really important to be able to make sure it gets up on the court website or in the court file.
Okay,
so ask the civil department if you have any questions on that.
okay, thank you.
Okay, all right. We'll be back. Service has been completed. Nobody has to do anything further on that front. And so we'll just see you all back on Monday.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, thank you, Mr. Klingel. Feel free to go, sir.
thank you.
Yeah.
What police report? Is that
Yeah.
in the file? I don't know.
What police? Yeah, we're not. I don't know. We're going to deal with all the substance of the arguments next week.
So police report on December 6th. She didn't know about that, and he's continuing to send her messages and messages.
Okay. Yeah. So we're going to deal with all this at the hearing
I'm
next
just
week.
wondering if we could see the police report.
Yeah, everything he has submitted is in the court file, and there's instructions on how to view the court file on the paperwork she has.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right. The restraint provisions that you've requested, I may not grant all of them as matters of law. You've asked for a no harm provision. That's fine. No stalking behavior. That's fine. One issue is the exclude stay away. The residential one, that's fine. The staying away from you, for that, there's a 1,000 foot default distance restriction. And my understanding of the underlying allegations is it involves political activity outside the Planned Parenthood. And so there are some free speech issues with respect to the court's ability to use an anti-harassment order as a way to keep someone away from sort of political activity. And so all I'll say there is, as far as that physical distance requirement, it's not going to be 1,000 feet. But given that he has failed to appear, there will still be some distance restriction there, but it will still allow him to attend those political demonstrations. But the anti-harassment provisions will go into effect.
What would be the distance? I mean,
Yeah, when we're dealing with folks with sort of personal space, I think in this case, it's likely appropriate. We use 10 feet often. And so that way, he'll have to kind of stay out of your personal space and, things of that nature. Again, but at no point is there any harm provisions or stalking provision that's going to be excluded, period. And then there's that physical distance, though, it's going to be, I'm going to put in 10 feet.
so as far as the stalking, him coming and putting his head in our car and things like that, is that considered?
Putting his head
stalking?
in your car, I mean, that's going to be obviously then also a restriction, or that's going to violate that distance restriction.
And if that happens, what do I do?
At that point, if you'd like to report a violation of a civil protection order is a crime. So you would call law enforcement.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Any questions, sir?
No, thank you.
Okay, you're free to go.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. For this case, I see that we do have a declaration of service. It was Mr. Rainey. You are entitled to 5 court days notice before the hearing. You're here. It looks like you've been served. You are able to waive the 5-day period if you would like to have the hearing today. If you would like it reset to next Monday, we can do that too.
I would request next Monday, please.
You'd like to reset to Monday?
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll do that. So we'll be back on next Monday. Service has been accomplished at this point, so Mr. Musgrave, nothing further for you to do. And then we'll see you all back here on Monday.
All right, thank you.
One question I had about the service.
Sure.
The process server twice drove by the house and said that he had attempted service. And, you know, I have video of the process server's car driving past the house at the time he said.
He's been served. Service is finished.
I just want to know who I'm supposed to contact about that process server lying on his affidavit service. He said that he had attempted a service.
Okay.
He did not walk up to that house at all. I've talked to the auditors. They say they license them, that they don't supervise them. And I can't find out who I'm supposed to call. What?
You're alleging this against your own process server?
Yes. I had to have my process server replaced by the company I had hired.
Okay.
Because he had lied twice about serving it.
Okay.
The one they replaced him with served him the next day.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's not part of this hearing as far as giving you legal advice.
I need to know who to contact. Which agency is supposed to supervise them?
Frankly, I'm not sure. L&I probably has some kind of licensing scheme for process servers.
The auditors.
The
license
auditors,
them,
yeah.
But they say they don't do anything as far as supervising.
Okay.
I'm just trying to find out who's trying to supervise them, and I contacted the company they work for. I contacted the group that they are associated with. I just can't find anybody to tell me.
Yeah, I'm not sure, sir. I can't help you on that front. All right. But we'll see you back next Monday. All right. Thank you. In this case, the respondent and the petitioner, I think I see Titus Howard has logged on, who is the petitioner in 26-112. Sir, are you with us? There we go. Mr. Howard. All right.
Yes, sir. My wife is here as well.
All right. Okay. Hello, both of you. Looks like you had served the respondent, Rebecca Rickett. I'm just going to confirm that here. We did not have Ms. Rickett present at the hearing earlier when we were taking attendance as well. And we don't have her still.
Yeah, Your Honor, we're so sorry about the delay in our appearance here. We were having some technical issues. We couldn't find the Zoom link, so we apologize for the delay.
That's okay. All right, so it looks like you had Thurston County Sheriff serve Ms. Rickett on April 8th. Okay. And she has failed to appear. All right, so with that, we will be issuing a default order in your favor. If you call from, I believe I issued the temporary order here before, and I aligned it with, let's see, I'm just double checking. Yeah, I aligned the language, the distance restriction with the no contact order in the sort of companion criminal case.
Yes,
to
sir.
reflect the fact that Ms. Rickett, we can't do anything to exclude her from her own home.
Right.
But so that the provisions in the temporary order will be the same as in the full order. So with that, I just wanted to clarify that that distance restriction will be the same moving forward too.
Yes, sir.
But
Yes, sir.
the difference here is, I believe, your minor child is the protected party in the criminal case. The civil protection order involves the whole household. And so to that extent that, that's going to be the difference there. Do you have any questions, either of you?
I do have one question, sir. So as far as I know that the distance was the 500 feet.
Mhm.
Now, so we have one of our landscapers that lives in front of her house, which is, I mean, we don't live right next door to her. I don't know, the document said next door, but we live like 5 houses down. So if we go, like, sometimes we'll borrow a wheelbarrow or something like that. Are we still able to do that? Because they live more, I guess, less than 500 feet from each other.
Yeah, so yes, the
Okay.
order restrains her from coming or staying within, according to the order now, 500 feet.
Okay.
And so, technically you're not doing anything wrong by, getting a wheelbarrow or something like that. You do want to, make sure that
Okay.
you're not putting her incidentally in a position where she's
Right.
within 500 feet, in a way that's maybe not terribly fair to her. With that said, relationship in the orders here is you're the protected party. And so only she can violate the order, not the other way around. And so, if she comes within or knowingly remains within the distance restriction, and it's reported to law enforcement, then that's when law enforcement takes action on that. So if there's some incidental, though, you're picking up a wheelbarrow or something like that, and there's no 500 feet, then there's no problem.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Just wanted to make sure we didn't get her in
Right.
trouble unnecessarily. I don't want to do that. And then I did have
Of
one
course,
last
yeah,
question.
no, that's a good question. I know this can get a little tricky with neighbors or folks who live within close proximity. So the order will be available here later this morning or in the afternoon on the Thurston County District Court website for you all to get a copy of. And then you can follow up if you have any questions.
Okay. I do have one final question. I'm so sorry. Do you know how long that's going to be in place for?
Yeah, so they're in place for a year. And then if you'd like to have it renewed, you just file a motion to renew anytime within 90 days prior to the expiration, and then there's a hearing on the renewal.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you both. You're free
Thank
to
you,
go.
Honor.
Thank
All
you.
right, have a good day.
Have a good day.
You too. There appeared to have a prior employment relationship.
Şimdi bu durumda davacı ve davalı daha önce ortak bir iş için birlikte olmuşlar.
The petitioner is alleging that the respondent is repeatedly threatening the petitioner with aggressive language.
Şimdi davacının söylediğine göre karşı taraf davalı müteaddit defalar kendisini gayet kötü bir dille tehdit etmiş.
The petitioner has uploaded a series of text messages between the parties.
Ve davacı iki taraf arasında geçen pek çok mesajlaşmayı burada dosyaya sunmuş.
Reflecting an argument over tax forms, employment forms, and other financial issues.
Ve bu mesajlarda vergi formları, diğer mali konularla ilgili bazı formlar konusunda tartışma çıkmış.
The petitioner alleges that after this text argument, he blocked the respondent to avoid further contact.
Ve davacının söylediğine göre bu text mesajlarından sonra kendisi davalıyı bloke etmiş, engellemiş.
After which time the respondent began contacting the petitioner's brother.
Bu engellemeden sonra davalı davacının kardeşiyle irtibat kurmuş.
That's my understanding of the record so far.
Şimdi benim anladığım kadarıyla kayıtlar bunları gösteriyor.
Mr.
Çetinkaya.
Tikaya, thank you. I'm going to start with you and put you under oath.
Şimdi Sayın Çetinkaya sizle başlayalım önce.
Tamam efendim.
Okay.
All right, if you could please raise your right hand.
Şimdi sağ elinizi kaldırın lütfen.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you are about to provide in this matter?
Bu davada yapacağınız tanıklık için yemin ve teyit eder misiniz ki söylediklerinizin
Evet
is the truth and the whole truth?
Sadece gerçeği ve yalnızca gerçeği yansıtacağına yemin eder misiniz? Yemin eder misiniz? Evet.
efendim.
Yes, I do.
All right, thank you. You may be seated.
Oturabilirsiniz.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
Oturabilirsiniz.
Tamam.
If there's any testimony you'd like to provide.
Şimdi tanıklı ifadenizi verebilirsiniz.
Tamam efendim. Yani bizim yanımızda çalışıyordu bu arkadaş. Yani
Okay.
bu işten
Okay.
ayrıldık.
This person was working with us, for us.
İşten ayrıldıktan sonra ileri geri küfürlü konuşmaya başladı. Benim yeni çocuğum olmuştu. Daha 1-2 aylıktı. Ben bunu artık çekemiyordum. Engelledim kendisini.
Okay. Okay. After he left working with us, I had a newly born baby, and he was just speaking in swearing language, in foul language, and I blocked him.
Beni hırsızlıkla suçluyor. İşte tehdit ediyor. Kulağınızı keseceğim diyor. Abim, bu sefer de abimi aramış. Abime sarmış. Tehditler etmeye devam etmiş.
Okay. He is blaming me for robbery, stealing, like blaming me for stealing. And when he, because I blocked him, he contacted my brother, and then he started saying the same things to my brother.
Yani 1099 formu istiyor ama kimlikteki adresi güncel olmadığı için postacı ona teslim edemedi. Biz kendisine gönderdik ama kimlikteki adresi güncel olmadığı için nerede oturduğu belli değil. Kendisine ulaşmamış. Bu yüzden
Okay.
bizi rahatsız ediyor.
Hang on.
Okay. He was demanding a 1099 form, but because his address was not up to date in our records, the mail person couldn't find him, so we don't know where he lives.
Yani bunu muhasebecime söyledim. E-mail olarak gönderebilir misin? Sosyal güvenlik numarası olduğu için bunu e-mail ile gönderemem. Ya kendisi gelip alacak ya da posta yoluyla göndereceğini söyledi.
Okay, I talked with my accountant and I said, could you send him via email? And my accountant told me that because there is a social security number on the form, he cannot send it via email. He has to come in either in person or it has to be sent via mail, USPS.
So is the dispute between the two of you trying to get these employment records? Is that the nature of the dispute?
Bu aranızdaki anlaşmazlığın, münakaşanın ana konusu bu mali dokümanların verilmesi miydi?
Yani bilmiyorum, yani ben onunla işten ayrıldıktan sonra küfürlü konuşmaya başladı ileri geri. Ben engelledim kendisini. Bundan sonra da benim abimi rahatsız etmeye başladı yani. Yani beni hırsızlıkla suçluyor yani. Ağır şiddetli küfürler, hakaret ediyor.
I don't know. After he left working with us, he started talking in swearing language, in foul language with me, and blaming me for stealing. And then when I blocked him, he contacted my brother and did the same thing.
Was he contacting your brother to try to contact you, or was he asking your brother similar questions about getting employment forms?
Bu abinize irtibat kurduğunda aynı formları ondan mı istiyordu, yoksa aynı şeylerle mi itham ediyordu?
Evet, yani abimden 1099 formu istemiş. Yani ona söyle göndersin bana demiş. Ama bu
He asked my brother that he needs a 1099 form, and asked my brother to ask me to send him the form.
Ama bu sefer abime de ayrıca hakaretlerde bulunmuş. Yani tehdit etmiş, kulağınızı kessem falan demiş.
But in the meantime, he threatened my brother, telling him that he would cut his ear off, and he made some insulting comments as well.
Okay, so the respondent threatened your brother to cut his ear off. Is that right?
Yani karşı taraf abinizin kulağını kesmekle itham etmiş, doğru mu?
Efendim.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. I'm going to turn it over to the respondent next to get some testimony from him.
Şimdi davalı tarafa dönüp ondan bir ifade vermesini istiyorum.
Tamam.
Mr. Ari Boxley, if you could please raise your right hand.
Sayın Ayrıbaşlı, siz lütfen sağ elinizi kaldırır mısınız?
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide in this matter
Bu konuda, bu davada vereceğiniz ifadenin
is the truth and the whole truth?
gerçek ve sadece gerçek olduğuna yemin eder misiniz?
Evet, bu mahkemeye vereceğim ifade üzerine gerçekleri söyleyeceğime yemin ederim.
Yes, I do swear that I will tell you the truth and to the court.
Okay, thank you.
Elinizi indirebilirsiniz. Teşekkür ederim.
So you've received the petition and heard the allegations against you.
Şimdi dilekçeyi size gönderildi ve size yöneltilen iddiaları biliyorsunuz.
This is your chance to
Evet.
respond.
Şimdi bu sizin cevap hakkınızı kullanmanız için fırsatınız. Buyurun.
Öncelikle yani mahkemesini meşgul ettiğim özür dilerim.
Your Honor, the voice is intermittent for the interpreter. The interpreter doesn't know how it goes through the courtroom.
Sir, yeah, if you the connection is a little weak here in the courtroom.
Şimdi bağlantı biraz zayıf, sesiniz iyi gelmiyor.
It might help if you turned your camera off.
Eğer isterseniz kameranızı kapatın.
At this point, it's important that we hear you without any interruption.
Yani arada kesinti olmadan sesi duymamız gerekecek.
Anladım efendim.
I understand.
Özellikle yani bu konuyla ilgili mahkeme heyetini rahatsız ettiğim için özür dilerim.
I'd like to apologize to the court that I am taking your time and bothering you with this matter.
And thank you. This is your opportunity to provide testimony. So if there's anything further you'd like to say, now's your chance.
Peki başka söylemek istediğiniz bir şey varsa bu sizin şansınız. Burada bunu fırsatı kullanabilirsiniz, bu zamanı.
Tabii ki. Şimdi bu Muharrem Çetinkaya arkadaştan 23 Şubat 2025 tarihinde Broter Trucking Company'de ben işbaşı yaptım.
Okay. With this person named Muharrem Çelikkaya, I started working with the Brothers Trucking Company on February 23rd, 2025.
Üç ay gibi bir zaman bu şirkette çalıştım. Bu şirketten bazı nedenlerden dolayı yani şoförlerin parasını ödemedi, sigortalar yaptırılmadı, bankanın parasını ödeyemedi. Bu şirketi feshetti, kapattı, iflas etti, kapattı.
Okay, okay. After 3 months working there, I stopped working there because the company couldn't pay for the drivers and couldn't pay for the insurance, and they went bankrupt and closed down the business.
Bu şirket kapandıktan sonra tabii bizim alacaklarımız vardı. Bizim alacaklarımızı ödeyeceğini söyledi daha sonra. Ben bu arada
Of course, I had some money from them, but they said they would pay me.
daha sonra ben başka bir Red Star diye bir şirkette çalışmaya başladım.
Further on, I started working in a company called Red Star.
3,5 ay bu şirkette çalıştıktan sonra bu Muharrem arkadaş kendi eşinin üzerinde yeni bir şirket açtığını söyledi.
After 3.5 months working in that company, this person named Muharrem said that he started a new business with the title to his wife's name.
Sesim geliyor mu efendim?
Do you hear me?
Yes, we're letting you testify, so you let us know when you're done.
Evet, siz ifadenizi veriyorsunuz.
Evet.
Bittiği zaman siz haber verin.
Evet. Daha sonra ben bu şirkette çalışırken Muharrem benimle iletişime geçti. Ben bir tane araba aldım. Tekrar benim yanımda çalışıp eskide yani öbür şirkette kalan alacaklarını vereceğini söyledi.
And then when I was working for that company, Muharrem called me and said that he bought another vehicle and asked me if I worked with them and he would give me what he owed me.
When you say, oh, you mean that, when you say that, do you mean the employment and tax forms?
Yani burada bana verecekleri dediğinizde sizin çalışma belgeleriniz ve vergi belgelerinizi mi demek istiyorsunuz?
Yok. Eski şirkette Brothers Truck Company'de eski de kalan alacaklarını vereceğini söyledi. Yani tekrar
No.
ben
He said he would give me back the money he owed me when I was working at the Brothers Trucking Company.
All right, so your communication to the petitioner's brother was to try and get the money that you feel you were owed from your employment with them.
Yani onunla irtibat kurmanızın nedeni onun size olan para borcunu geri almak için de, öyle mi?
evet doğrudur.
Yes, correct.
Thank you. All right, turning back to Mr. Sentakaya.
Şimdi tekrar Mr. Çetinkaya'ya dönüyorum.
Do you agree that that Mr. Ari Basali either was seeking the money and employment records, or that was the purpose, at least, for him reaching out to you and your brother?
Şimdi siz Mr. Ayrıbaşlı'nın sizi arama nedeninin bu çalışma belgeleri ve diğer para konusuyla ilgili konuda onları istemekle ilgili olduğuna, sizi ve kardeşinizi o nedenle aradığı konusunda katılıyor musunuz?
Yok efendim, bunlar hiçbiri doğru değil. Zaten işçi borcu olduğu zaman yani bankruptcy, iflas veremezsin. Yani işçilerin borcu kapatılıyor. Yani bunun üzerinden
Okay.
Um, Your Honor, please, it was a little convoluted for the interpreter. Could
Okay.
the respondent, I mean, the petitioner repeat?
Sir, so sir, could you please repeat that? And again, if you could speak a bit slower and in shorter sentences so that the interpreter can let us know what you're saying.
Tekrar eder misiniz biraz yavaş konuşarak ve tek tek anlatarak?
evet. Bunların
Okay.
söyledikleri hiçbiri doğru değil efendim.
None
Yani
of
bizi-
none of what he said is reflecting the truth.
Bizim hiçbir işçiye borcumuz kalmadı. Hepsini tamamına kadar verdik. Kendisi
We don't owe anything to any of our workers, anything. We've paid them all.
kendisi yaklaşık 4-5 ay yanımızda çalışmış, 45.000 dolar para kazanmış yani.
He worked nearly 4 to 5 months, approximately 4 or 5 months with us, and made $40,000.
After you blocked the respondent, has he contacted you directly?
Peki kendisini engellediğinden sonra o sizle doğrudan bir bağlantı kurdu mu?
Abimi aramış yani. Beni arayamıyordu çünkü ben onu engellediğim için aramadım.
Because I blocked him, he couldn't call me, but he called my brother.
All right. And back to you, Mr. Aribasali.
Şimdi tekrar Sayın Başlı size dönüyorum.
Tabii efendim, dinliyorum.
I listen to you.
Are you continuing to try to contact the petitioner here or his brother for what you?
Siz burada davacının kendisiyle veya abisiyle tekrar irtibat kurmaya devam ediyor musunuz?
Şimdi ben az önce verdiğim ifade daha başlangıç şeydi. Daha ondan sonra bu Babala Trucking firmasında çalışmaya başladım. 5 ay da orada çalıştım.
The previous testimony I made here was about the beginning of my work, and later I worked with the Babala company for 5 months.
Okay. Do you still feel like you're owed some kind of money or anything else from your employment with the petitioner here?
Şimdi burada davacı tarafından hala size bir davacının borcu olduğuna inanıyor musunuz?
Bana borcu var zaten. Ben bunları kanıtlayabiliriz, ispatlayabilirim. Ben 75 sent mile başı bunun yanında çalıştım. Benim hesabımı 55 sente olarak gördü. Ben Texas, Washington 5 ay çalıştım. Bütün evraklar, faturalar bende. Hepsi benden.
Hang on.
Okay, I can prove what he owes me with all the documents. At first, it was 75 cents a mile. That was our agreement. But later on, he put it down to 55 cents a mile. I worked between Texas and Washington for 5 months.
All right. All right. Thank you both. I think I'm ready with my decision.
İki tarafa da teşekkür ederim ki kararım hazır burada.
At this point, I do not think that there are sufficient grounds to issue.
Özür dilerim. Bir şey ekleyebilir miyim?
I apologize. Can I add something?
You can ask something as soon as I'm done issuing my ruling.
Şimdi ben bu eklemenizi kendi kararımı verdikten sonra yapabilirsiniz.
Teşekkür ederim.
Thank you.
After reviewing the petition and the exhibits and hearing testimony,
Şimdi dilekçeyi ve dilekçedeki kanıtları gözden geçirdikten sonra ve ifadeleri dinlendikten sonra
I don't find that there's evidence of repeated communication from the respondent for the purpose of harassing the petitioner.
Davalı tarafından müteaddit defalar bir taciz durumu söz konusu olmadığı görülüyor.
And it sounds like since the respondent was blocked by the petitioner, there's been no direct communication between the two.
Ve dilekçeyi veren taraf davalıyı engellediği için de kendisiyle doğrudan bir irtibat kurulamamış. Kurulmamış.
Mr. Arabasali, if you feel that you are still owed some sort of money judgment from your former employers,
Şimdi size daha önce işveren bu kişilerden size bazı kişilerin size borcu olduğunu iddia ediyorsanız hala
you are able to pursue that through some sort of legal channels, such as small claims or something like that.
Bu borcunu kendilerinden başka kanallar vasıtasıyla talep edebilirsiniz. Mesela asliye hukuk gibi bir mahkeme kanalıyla talep edebilirsiniz.
But at this point, the petitioner here has, I think, provided clear notice that no further communication personally is wanted, and so you'll need to abide by that.
Burada yine dilekçeyi veren tarafın sizle daha ileri bir düzeyde herhangi bir iletişim kurmak istemediği göz önünde bulunursa lütfen kendisiyle bu konuda bir irtibata geçmeyin.
But at this point, I don't find that there's enough evidence for the issuance of a civil protection order.
Ama bu noktada burada medeni koruma emri çıkmasına bir gerek görmüyorum.
Mr. Sintakaya, do you have any questions?
Sayın Çetinkaya, senin sorunuz var mı?
Hayır efendim.
No, thank you.
Mr. Arabasali, you'd said you had a question earlier. This is your chance to ask it.
Sayın Arıbaşı, sizin bir ekleyeceğiniz şey var demiştiniz. Onu söyler misiniz?
Evet, yani ben bu arkadaşın yanında çalıştım. Bu defalarca beni AİS polisle tehdit etti. Seni AİS'e vereceğim. Ondan sonra bu süreçte benim vergi ödemem lazım. Yani bugün benim vergim son.
Sir, you need to pause there.
This guy threatened me that he would turn me into ICE and several times. But at this time, I have to pay my taxes, and this is my last day to pay my taxes.
Okay. All right. Well, as far as you being the respondent in a civil protection order, sir, that order is being denied. That's the matter that we're here for today.
Şimdi Sayın Bay, biz burada bu koruma emrinin çıkıp çıkmayacağıyla ilgileniyoruz. Bu koruma emri çıkmamış durumda.
Do you have any questions about that?
Bu konuda bir sorunuz var mı?
Yok, çok teşekkür ederim. Zaten gereken hukuki işlemlerimi avukatımın yoluyla başlattım kendisi hakkında. Teşekkür ederim.
Okay, thank you very much. I already started with the legal procedure with my lawyer.
Okay. Thank you both. You're both free to go. And thank you, Madam Interpreter, for work this morning.
Thank you.
Her iki tarafa da teşekkür ederim. Gidebilirsiniz. Çevirmene de teşekkür ederim. For the record, the interpreter is checking out, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, ma'am.